Time Gaming é a seguir, mas primeiro...
Hey, 42 here. Humans have always been enchanted by gold. We don it,
Aqui... Assim, ele é um canal mais tipo... investigar cenas de história. Se me perguntarem se a história, pá, praticamente a única coisa assim mais... Why the fuck was this a thing? Tipo, que eu vos posso dizer... É a história de como o SS Texas teve ordem para inundar metade do navio para conseguir disparar mais longe contra os alemães durante a Segunda Guerra Mundial lá na praia da Normandia. Porquê que eu me lembro disso em específico? Porque é a coisa mais aleatória que um gajo pode pensar. Quem no seu perfeito juízo é que se vai lembrar? Eu tenho uma ideia. E tal inundar metade da porra do navio. Tipo, why? Existe tanta forma de resolver o problema. E o homem decidiu. Que se for esperar por haver ordens para a gente mudar de posição. Inundem metade da puta do navio. Eu acho que os marinheiros dele, quando ouviram ordens, eles ficaram tipo... Eu acho que o capitão está a tentar transformar-nos no Titanic, caralho. Caralho. Mas olhem, o que é certo é que essa merda resultou. Não me perguntem como. Pega o trouxa, porque isto já me está a começar a fazer comichão à cabeça. Não estou habituado a estar com ele lá. Já não uso este chapéu há muito tempo. E então começa-me a fazer impressão. Normalmente nunca uso chapéus nenhuns. Mas já. Pensem bem o que é que passa na cabeça de um gajo que tem uma ideia dessas. Tipo, é as ideias mais aleatórias que um gajo já pensou, meu. Mas pronto.
Devour it, drink it, serenade it, even defecate atop it. And when the chips are down, we kill for it. From King Midas to the California gold rush, when it comes to this most precious of precious metals, we simply lose our tiny little minds. Given this centuries-old love of all things AU, it's no wonder that gold has remained a target of the criminally inclined. And there was no heist bigger than that of the Brinkmat bullion raid, in which an armed gang burst into a warehouse near Heathrow Airport and made off with £26 million worth of pure gold.
God damn.
The heist, hailed as the crime of the century, was, at the time, the largest in British history. But the theft itself was merely the start of the story, because after stealing 3 tons of solid gold, these newly minted millionaires had to figure out just what the hell they were going to do with it. Surfshark VPN keeps you safe and private. You'll find VPNs, download history data, benefit from an 8 in a description. Brinkmat raid took place out, and thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. The Brinkmat raid took place at 6:30 AM on the 26th of November, 1983. Say what you like about armed robbers, but they do get to work early. The gang was led by 2 career criminals, Brian the Colonel Robinson and Mad Mickey McAvoy, one of whom was said to be the brains of the operation and the other a certified hardass. I'll leave you to work out which was which. There was also an inside man, security guard Anthony Black. He was married to Brian Robinson's sister, and he happily spilled his guts to his criminal in-law about the large sums of money that were held at the Brinkmat warehouse where he worked. As far as heists go, this one was absurdly simple. During his rounds, Black casually unlocked a side door, granting access to the seemingly secure warehouse for the rest of his crew. Then 6 balaclava-clad bandits burst in, quickly subduing the security guards who, far from ready to defend against the incursion, were enjoying a nice hot cup of tea and a gossip. Next on the to-do list was gaining access to the vault. Only select guards knew the codes, and Black wasn't one of them. So the gang politely asked one of the ones who did if he wouldn't mind handing them over. When that didn't work, they tried the more direct route of putting a knife to his throat, pouring petrol over his privates, and suggestively lighting a match. But before the poor man had a chance to cough up the codes, one of the crew spotted something strange. Sitting right in the middle of the warehouse were several large boxes, each concealing 6,800 solid gold ingots. The Brinks mad robbers had hoped to steal around £1 million worth of foreign currency from the vault. Instead, they found 26 times that just sitting there. It was the heist equivalent of winning the lottery, except when people win the lottery, they aren't usually holding a shotgun and threatening to burn someone's cock off. Also, when you win the lottery, you get one of those really big novelty checks, which must be an absolute nightmare to pay into the bank. But a damn sight easier than transporting 3 tons of gold. The crew had anticipated a swift smash and grab operation. What they hadn't planned on is that almost 2 hours later, they'd still be loading the loot into the van with a forklift truck. So laden with loot was the getaway vehicle that they struggled to get away at all, leaving the scene at a pace surpassed by my gran on a midnight trip to the toilet. They did manage to escape before the alarm was raised, but soon enough, the chase was afoot. The London Police Department dedicated to organised crime is known as the Flying Squad, better known by its Cockney rhyming slang, the Sweeney. Sweeney Todd, Flying Squad. They had a reputation for being every bit as tough as the crims they pursued, so it wasn't long before they started putting those gold bar bandits behind bars of a different variety. Anthony Black, the inside man, was the first to be brought in, as soon as the cops realised he was the brother-in-law of a known criminal. He didn't really think that one through, did he? Black folded under questioning and confessed to his part in the crime. He also coughed up the names of the ringleaders, Brian Robinson and Mickey McAvoy, who were both arrested only 10 days after the raid. Not that either had been lying low in the interim, both immediately swapped their humble family homes for significantly swankier properties purchased in...
Ok. Esta é a coisa mais estúpida que eu já vi um ladrão fazer. Epá. Porquê? Deixavas a poeira a sentar e o caraças, deixavas esse ouro todo escondido. E depois então ias comprar uma casa depois do pessoal já se ter esquecido que isso tinha acontecido.
In cash. And just in case any doubt remained, McAvoy further confirmed his culpability by trying to punch Anthony Black in the face during a police lineup. A year later, Robinson and McAvoy were sentenced to 25 years each, with Black getting 6 years. Unlike Black, McAvoy and Robinson remained silent. They never gave up their accomplices, and the other 4 men involved still haven't been caught to this day. With the ringleaders safely in prison, you might think it would have been easy to track the stolen loot. After all, how the hell do you even begin to launder 3 tons of a very shiny metal? Step forward, John Palmer, the man the press would later christen the real-life Goldfinger, and with a very good reason. Despite growing up in extreme poverty in Birmingham, Palmer had a knack for making money. He left school at a young age and started selling scrap metal and second-hand cars before moving into jewellery and gold. By the time of the Brinks-Mat robbery in 1983, Palmer was living in a Georgian mansion near the historic town of Bath, where he had his own smelter, a mini furnace for melting metal. As a well-known criminal who owned a gold melting machine, he was the perfect person to liquidate the gang's assets. Literally. Just 2 days after the robbery, Palmer's affluent neighbours alerted the police about his frantic backyard smelting. Unsurprisingly, they figured it might have something to do with that 3 tons of stolen gold making news headlines. The police turned up, but for reasons that have been lost to history, they decided not to take things any further. That left Palmer free to melt down huge quantities of gold, which he mixed with copper to disguise its origins. He then sold it on to unsuspecting companies, including one called Johnson Matthey, the very same company that owned the gold in the first place. I mean, stealing someone's gold
Ok. Este foi um movimento de gênio. Roubaram à empresa o ouro e depois foram vendê-lo de volta à empresa. Ok. Eu tenho que admitir. Nem toda a gente neste grupo foi burro.
Gold is one thing, but selling it back to them at an inflated price after you've decreased the quality? That's just criminal. In total, £13 million worth of gold profit went through the accounts of Palmer's personal company, which he wasn't at all shy about spending. However ineffective the police might have been previously, they eventually began to suspect Palmer's involvement and raided his mansion in 1985. The trouble was, by that point, it was too late. He'd taken his family to Tenerife for a short holiday that ended up lasting 2 years. Funny that. He did eventually return to Blighty in 1987 and was promptly put on trial for his part in disposing of the gold, but it seemed he'd spent the intervening years polishing up his case, because, despite admitting to melting and selling the gold, he was cleared of all charges. His defense was simple. He claimed he never knew the gold was stolen. That might sound hard to believe, but apparently the jury saw things differently. Palmer left the courtroom that day blowing them kisses before hopping on a plane straight back to Tenerife, where he'd set up a dodgy timeshare business. At this point, Palmer wasn't the only one of the extended criminal family connected to the Brinksmat robbery that the police were pursuing. They were also after lifelong gangster Kenneth Noy, an expert fence who had a reputation for being able to shift all kinds of ill-gotten gains. Like Palmer, Noy was thought to have played a pivotal part in melting down the Brinksmat gold and laundering the money which its sales brought in. As a prime suspect, Noy was placed under close police surveillance, which is how one night an undercover officer came to be hiding, camouflaged, in his back garden. Apparently, Noy was a proud horticulturist, because on finding the police officer camped out in his chrysanthemums, he stabbed him to death. At the subsequent trial, Noy pulled off an even more unlikely victory than John Palmer, claiming he'd stabbed the police officer 10 times in the chest in self-defense. He was found not guilty. Thankfully, Noy faced court again less than a year later when police found 11 solid gold bars in his house. Even the apparently easily led jurors of 1980s England couldn't ignore that glaring evidence. Noy was fined £500,000 and given 15 years in prison. He was released in 1994, but 2 years later, he murdered someone else. It seems old habits quite literally died hard. This time, he killed a motorist in a road rage incident, then fled the country the following day and went on the run for 4 years. You may be wondering how a convicted criminal wanted for murder managed to slip away so easily. Well, I assume he donned one of those pairs of glasses with a false nose and mustache attached. But sadly, no. Like Ringo Starr from the Beatles, Noy had a little help from his friends. Only with less drumming and more stabbing. In this case, Noy's friend was none other than old Goldfinger himself, John Palmer. Perhaps there's honour amongst thieves after all. Palmer had Noy flown out of the UK in his private helicopter, which took him to Palmer's private golf course in France. From there, Noy took Palmer's Learjet to Tenerife, where authorities lost track of him altogether. Noy is believed to have orchestrated at least 3 mob murders whilst on the run, either to evade law enforcement or to avenge those he believed have wronged him. He was eventually arrested in Spain and extradited back to the UK, where he was sentenced to life in prison. But hang on a second, did I just say that John Palmer owned a helicopter, and a golf course, and a Learjet? Yes, I did. Because whilst Kenny Noy had spent years locked up, Palmer had spent that time cleaning up, making an absolute fortune in a scam of huge proportions. You see, his holiday apartment timeshare business was nothing but a huge con. It grew to be an empire, employing hundreds of people, and made Palmer a personal fortune of over £300 million. Meaning that at one point he was almost as rich as the actual Queen of England. Palmer's vast wealth was all built on lies, and up to 20,000 customers were tricked into paying for apartments that didn't exist. If they refused to pay, Palmer's hired thugs convinced them to change their minds. Not only that, but Palmer was caught on camera by legendary British investigative journalist Roger Cook, offering to launder £60 million worth of drug money and boasting about how he could get guns from the Russian mafia. Justice, though long overdue, eventually caught up with Palmer, who, like Noy, was extradited back to the UK. He was put on trial, found guilty, and sentenced to 8 years for fraud. He was released after 4 years to continue his life of crime until 2015, when he was shot dead outside his mansion in the English countryside. No one has been convicted of his murder. The brutal end to Palmer's life is typical of many of those associated with the Brinks-Mat heist, which superstitious types have suggested may be cursed. In total, 20 people involved in the heist have been murdered over the years. Many others have languished in prison. Original robbers Robinson and McAvoy got long sentences and both died penniless, their shares of the stash having evaporated by the time they were released. As for the gold itself, the vast majority was never recovered, and its whereabouts remain the subject of fevered speculation, even today. So much stolen gold was processed by the thieves that, according to some estimates, almost everyone who bought gold jewellery in the UK after 1984 is wearing at least some Brinks-Mat gold. Other tales claim the laundered money has been invested in everything from international drug trafficking to the large-scale redevelopment of the Docklands area in London. With so many having taken their secrets to early graves, it seems likely we'll never know the whole truth, and the mystery of the Brinks-Mat robbery, like the gold that was taken that day, will continue to fascinate and tantalise us for years to come. Thanks for watching.
Esta, por acaso, é uma história que eu, por acaso, não conhecia, mas digo sinceramente, é algo... Sódito é um youtuber que eu costumo ver os vídeos dele com alguma frequência.
While Ashley Graham may not be the most popular character,
Este aqui é mais tipo curiosidade porque eu sempre me perguntei o que raios acontece com a Ashley depois do Resident Evil 4. Porque tipo, ela não é uma personagem assim
character to have ever graced the Resident Evil universe, she still has a big part to play in the storyline of Resident Evil 4. In fact, you could argue that she's the most important character in the game because, while she's not the main character that we control, she is the one that Leon was sent into Spain to find. Not to mention the fact that she was the crux of Osman Sadler's entire plan.
Forever. So, we kidnapped the president's daughter in order to give her our power and then send her back.
No.
However, after the events of the game, Ashley's fate is kind of left up in the air as to what will become of her in the future. After getting shot down by Leon as to a date once everything had settled down, we are really only left to make assumptions as to what her future held in store. That being said though, there are some pieces of information that we can use to make an educated guess as to her whereabouts. Starting first with her connection to the president. So if you've played the newer games in the series, then you'll know that in Resident Evil 6, the then President of the United States unfortunately turns into a zombie and has to be killed by none other than Leon himself. This seems to be the catalyst for a lot of people's curiosity about the daughter of the president that we'd rescued a few years prior. However, fortunately for Ashley, these two people are not the same. Ashley's father was President Graham, while the man who died in Resident Evil 6 was named Adam Benford. The fact that their names don't line up, luckily, isn't the only evidence that we have, however, seeing as the president in Resident Evil 6 is shot by Leon in 2013. That would make the events of Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 6 take place 9 years apart, meaning that even if President Graham had been elected right when his daughter was taken in 2004, he still would have been able to serve his 2 terms and been out of office by 2013. It's also stated in a tie-in manga to Resident Evil called Resident Evil Heavenly Island that the events of Resident Evil 4 took place in August of 2004. Seeing as elections take place in November, that means that President Graham would have been in office by at least 2003, making it highly unlikely that these two men are the same, assuming that the Resident Evil universe follows in line with current US reality.
Don't make me do this.
All of this is to say that Ashley's father would appear to be just fine, so his death wouldn't play a factor in how she's doing today. As for what that is, that's a little bit harder to say. Ashley was 20 at the time of Resident Evil 4, so current day she'd be around 36, meaning that she would have graduated from college already and started whatever career she decided to go into. Based on Ashley's personality and her upbringing, that probably wouldn't put her in the line of work that someone like Leon is associated with. This being a lore-friendly way of explaining why we haven't seen her since 04, and why we will probably never see her again, barring a potential cameo or something of that sort. Whereas it made sense for someone like Sherry to grow up into an agent after the events of Resident Evil 2, it really wouldn't work for Ashley. For one thing, she was already an adult at the time of her introduction into the series, and though she braved quite a few hardships during her time in Spain, they far from turned her into a hardened soldier. If she were to make a return to the series, I could see her taking on a similar role as someone like Hunnigan, a more support-focused role where she's helping those who are in the field. Other than that, however, I wouldn't hold my breath for her return to the series anytime soon. Lore-wise, I don't really see where it would make sense, and unless she's way different in the remake, I don't know that there's much of a clamoring for her from the community for her to make a reappearance either.
You alright?
I'm fine! Leave me alone!
Ashley, wait! Ashley!
What's going on? Ah!
Isto não explica muito, mas pá, é tal cena. O Resident Evil é daqueles jogos que, independentemente de como ele é estruturado, existe um certo
He has all this fancy gear, and then they give him
em conseguir definir exatamente como é que flui o tempo no jogo, porque a gente não sabe exatamente se a forma como o tempo passa lá é igual ou se as coisas lá são feitas tal e qual como na realidade ou não.
a Makarov.
Look at that. I'd recognize those grip panels anywhere.
Why is there concrete pillars in the swimming pool? Is this to impale you if you dive in?
Wait, this isn't even a swimming pool. Look at how this isn't deep.
This is like a
This
waiting.
isn't even a kiddie pool.
What? And why are there concrete pillars in here? It seems very unsafe.
We have swimming pool at home.
Yeah, we
A
have.
swimming pool at home.
Oh, there's a guy underneath us
Oh,
with a. Then never mind, he's dead. We'll just take care of him like that.
Oh my.
When
Whoa.
we have
Oh,
the high
the-
ground. It's over.
Oh,
Execute
God,
them.
I've been sniped.
They executed me.
No, we're supposed to have the high ground.
Our goal is to climb up that building in front of us and then jump across the gap to get to that building.
I like how you turn around to say that to me.
Yes.
Also, would it be inappropriate if I yelled to infinity and beyond every time I jump?
It's not technically inappropriate, but we're not going to infinity or beyond.
Hey
We're
guys,
going to this building.
Hey
there's
guys.
a lot of enemies over here.
If I get hit in the face by a 30 mil, I'm going beyond somewhere.
Oh, it might not
Yeah,
hit
but
you in
it's
the
nowhere
face.
close to infinity.
É verdade.
There's ones behind us.
Nice work, Stick. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of enemies over there.
Don't worry, boys. Wish.com swimming pool has been secured. Pool party is a go. I repeat, pool party is a go.
Just
Operation.
get to
This is
them.
a
I'll
tactical
watch.
pool party. I repeat, tactical pool party.
Make sure to have camo colored swim trunks. And whatever pattern you choose.
What about my tactical rubber ducky?
I don't know. Is he, There's enemies below us, by the
He's
way. You
camouflaged.
see all those marks down there?
There's one on the building with us.
Intruder!
Oh no, there's an enemy over there.
Smite him! I need a knife
I
to
just
stab
got
him.
shot in the head.
I don't.
He's
I'm not
jumping
over
up and down. He's got
Enemy
sick moves. I
machine
can't.
Gunners. I repeat, enemy machine gunners.
Can you get him to hold still for a second?
No, I can't.
Sir.
There,
my
there.
God.
Yeah. Arrest
We got
him.
enemy
Arrest
down
him.
there in the
Sir,
low ground.
please.
I don't think he's alive.
Okay. No, I don't think he is anymore.
Blast him, boys.
Well, you got blasted, sir.
And now I'm gonna run away. I did my job. Yeah, I'm on the case.
Nope.
I'm gonna secure this
you
pool
know.
party.
You deserve a day in the pool.
I can't with all this shooting down there.
Yeah, look at.
Knock
another
off the
enemy
racket
right
down there.
there.
I just shot at that guy twice.
Yeah.
Oh, they're both
Coitado.
dead.
Nice work, Sterling.
Yeah.
Back upstairs.
Back.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're taking Charlie
Remember,
again.
guys, the end position is to be on the other building.
Oh, Dick boy, no.
Bing.
I shot a man in the face,
Oh,
falling back.
excellent.
Was that the man? Oh, yeah, nice work.
He's unrecognizable.
I started blasting.
Yeah.
Do we want that pool? There's no pool over there.
There isn't, but it's the better
No.
position.
I think
This
there
is
is
the
a
better
pool
position.
right there.
Intersection.
In
There.
the low ground. Another one. There's one on the building right over there.
Oh god, he's shooting at me. I'm running away.
I don't have any ammo loaded. Oh god.
I would help you load it, but I don't have like mechanical hands to do that.
Got him.
Oh, he's down. Nice work, Sterling.
Shooting to my low left.
Yep. I'm not seeing the enemies in the low ground right now. I'm watching
Nope.
LA.
Enemy
Oh,
target's
way out there, way
currently
out there.
unseen.
Right there.
Wait, what? Right there?
Oh yeah.
He's
oh,
down.
Wow,
yeah.
nice. Oh no, I jumped out the building.
I can't hit the guy
Come on,
5
come
feet
on.
from me, but across the map, no problem.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you are the sniper class, so it, you know.
I gotta practice my no scopes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it.
My YY ladder fade something doodads that the kids do.
You do a 360 no scope for us?
Oh, that's so 2010 fate.
Oh my god, tanks! Tanks rolling down the road!
We have
Multiple
anti-tank
we're
class,
not
yes.
We're not equipped for tanks.
Sir,
I tried.
hold still so I can lob
Sir?
shells at you closer.
Bo, you're being hit from multiple directions.
I'm in a sniper fight with a machine gun guy. No, he's dead.
My missile didn't do anything.
They're all over here.
Uh-oh, tanks. Tanks!
Where?
Oh, there's so many
We're
tanks.
on the
There's
point.
multiple tanks on the point.
Okay.
With our powers combined, can we combine into a bigger mech suit?
I don't think that's the series that we're from.
That's a series from my childhood.
Yep.
Tank
I
right
lit
there.
one
I
on
got a
fire.
I got the
one of them,
transmission.
but-
He can't move at least. We're
There's
being
one
swarmed
right
by
over there.
infantry this direction though, to the south.
Okay.
Oh god, I fell off the building.
Repositioning.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some help here because they're upset. They want the pool
Going
party.
back up that way. Trying to move towards you.
Hold still.
It's like only way
So
up the
it keeps
building.
messing me up is that the gun's on your left arm, so I keep trying to shoot center, but you have to aim a little bit right for the convergence. And I keep forgetting that.
Oh, you got obliterated by a Sabo round.
If I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down hard, okay?
There's nothing left.
Stick boy, smoke him. Smoke him out.
Gentlemen, how's the situation on Charlie?
Not
Oh my
great.
god, more tank.
I'd like to hear more
tank.
enthusiasm next time. Why is there so many tanks here?
There's so many tanks.
Stick. Oh my
Start
God.
jumping, become a rabbit.
The enemy has allocated all of their defense budget to
One is
tanks.
down.
Oh my
Fuel
god.
tank radiator on this
The other
one. Here, just there you
Oh
go.
my god.
Oh
Good
my
job,
God.
guys.
Thank god.
All right, next time let's not collect T-80s.
Wait, did you kill all the T-80s? Because I hear one.
No, that's an Abrams right with us.
Okay, good.
Not scary T-80.
I gotta go check on my swimming pool.
Okay. I'll go up there. We just got hit by something.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about the Abrams.
I can't get up.
Uppies.
There we go. Oh, there's a man on the rooftop right there.
There are
we're
many
heading-
men
should
on the
eliminate him.
rooftop.
Sniper
oh
down.
my god, wow.
Good work, good work.
They're all across at the other roof over here.
Alright, we're headed up to you.
I can see one. He's down.
Okay.
Come on, up. I need to lose some weight. Come on, get up. there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Little motivation.
Yeah.
You just gotta believe in yourself.
Or you just insult yourself until you do better.
Exactly. That's the same
Exactly.
thing.
Same thing.
No, it's not.
Tank!
Eh.
Tank!
Oh God.
Well,
Incoming.
good luck with that. I'm not gonna get in the face again by a Sabo. Learn my lesson.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's
Oh
like
God, they shot me.
Gentlemen, I have eyes on Gary. Gary is okay.
Gary?
Yeah, Gary.
Gary.
Oh.
VIP for the pool party.
Ladies, it's Gary.
Ladies Gary. Gary
Yeah,
is popular with ladies.
Gary. Ooh.
If you had a handful of roses and you threw them out at people,
If you had a handful of Garys and threw them at people.
What?
don't throw Gary.
No, Garys.
Gary's.
Gary's.
Little
Yes.
Gary's?
Gary.
Actually, that's what the ad's for. Pocket Garys.
Did they give up on our swimming pool? No, they're here.
Wait, are they here to take the swimming pool from us?
They are here to take the swimming
Not
pool.
allowed.
No, no! He almost hit me with a
No, no.
missile. That was very rude. He's dead.
Okay, thank God.
Oh, good job.
Gary.
It's either him or I, and I
Todos
chose
querem brincar.
I.
Yes.
Agora.
Yeah.
You chose him.
Pecado não sei.
No, I chose me. I want to live.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant